I was like you. I tried everything I can imagine on this earth to stop smoking: herbal tobaccos, mushroom tobaccos, exercises, holding my breath, meditation, Alan Carr's Stop Smoking book, stop smoking pills. You need to understand what I'm about to tell you is really important, and you need to watch until the end because it's a combination of things and it's definitely not willpower. I started smoking when I was 14 until 40, and it's like 26 years. And I smoked unnumbered amounts. But for the last 4 years, almost every time I decided that was the last one, I managed it. But there were still gaps in them. I became a social smoker after trying everything. The pills helped me to become the social smoker. But there was something that I didn't want to let go of the rope. My first memory I was trying to smoke was I was 16 years old. I tried to replace cigarettes with water. And when I was 20, I was giving packs of cigarettes away. So I won't see and light another one. I tried things like herbal patches and dried mushrooms and herbal smokes. And one day I heard Stephen Fry talking about stop smoking pills, and I researched the impossible of side effects, but I said I'm going to go with it and I'm going to try it. Alan Carr's Stop Smoking book was amazing. It talked about this monster in us and trying to convince us to have another one, and we can't live without them. And those monsters I can imagine and feel in my body, in my blood crawling, trying to make me smoke one. Well, first I used the stop smoking pill. I was determined to stop. And it helped me for a little bit. Its side effects were incredible, so I made my own dosage. Like, instead of taking it for 2 months, I only took for 3 weeks, and I only took half a dose. And I meditate every day to check in if I'm still okay. So if I don't have a blood clot in my brain or having some kind of a seizure. So I definitely don't recommend that Champix to you. But later on, I found something called Ricigar, and it's equivalent of Champix, but with more natural substances. First of all, it was something else, and it was only £20 on Amazon. In a few months' time, its number went up to £160, and now its equivalent is Ricigar, and it's £20 somewhere out there if you want to stop smoking. But the thing is, none of those really helps. I mean, in a way they help, but they are not certain. Because in a time of a stressful situation or seeing a friend, I was like a Pavlov's dog. My mouth got dried and I kind of salivated and wanted to have another cigarette. When I'm tired and have low self-esteem, I wanted to have another cigarette. And it wasn't about just drinking, or it wasn't about having this known situations. It was like I was almost like some kind of another person. There was another person in me. And then I realized, after having a little bit research, that that is true. Apparently, we all have multiple characters in us. So it's not like a personality disorder. It's not like we have multiple personalities, but we have multiple characters. And these characters in us, they are all authentic. They represent sometimes a certain part of our life and certain beliefs. And one of the science journalists, award-winning science journalist Rita Carwell, said those characters are there for a reason. And then I realized the trick is combining with everything that I learned and negotiating between those characters and telling them what I really want in life. explaining them where I'm going. It's a choice between the characters to help them. It's a choice of me to help myself to achieve or to be what I want. And I had to explain one of those characters who loves smoking and why I don't want. But instead of pushing it or punishing it or saying negative words, I embraced it and I put everything that I can to help it to come into a term of let's do it together. And I start making mental notes. I start taking notes and making lists of the situations that triggered me to smoke. I made a list of people, I made a list of places, I made a list of songs that I tried to avoid. And I had a pack of little pills that, in the case of an emergency, if I have a smoke one night, I can start it. Because it really helps if you haven't smoked for a few months and you don't want to go off the rail. If it helps the next day, next 2 days, having a little bit of a supplement. But never go all the way for a few months. It's not willpower, but it's still a negotiation of the will with the characters that you have. So the shortness of it is the way that I stopped smoking is the choosing a life, choosing a character for myself that I like to be most. I didn't like my hands smoking of cigarette, and I liked being able to run and my lungs feeling good. I liked having the taste of the air in my lungs. I liked being free of something, somebody, a condition, a little monster, a little situation is controlling me. And I negotiated in myself. And it's not willpower, but it is will to be and to have a different personality, a different character. And I hope this helps.